there's a slight problem with this. That rope is a total red herring. It's put there to annoy you and frustrate you if you try and do this from up there. You have to simply jump here and wait a little bit for this to go around. I mean, you can do it by using that rope, but it's a total waste of time and guaranteed to frustrate rather than to make anything easier. So that's going to be a quarter, and away we go on that rope. Oh, come on, Bob, jump. Excellent. Now here, as with all these cases where you have these things that swing along, they give you something in the ceiling to indicate its range, and in some cases, they even deliberately designed so that they'll slide one way or the other. And you can actually see that by checking that. There'll be a change in the angle of what it's sliding on, which is, I think it's a good touch. And now you have to jump to this, up it a tad, and swing to and fro to get onto that ladder, stone ladder. Other way it slightly jerks when you land on it, as though it's jammed. Hello. Go here. I've turned off next generation content for this run because although the level doesn't crash, the lighting in this level goes foobar and everything turns very light. Whereas if you look, the light is quite pleasingly dark and light with the cool little things there. Although I'm not sure who lit that or added the metal. Interesting. Anyway, up we go. The thing I slightly object to in this series is they mark out which areas you can jump onto too clearly. And I think it is a fair objection. It's another objection I have with...
This channel runs directly down to the wheel.
Can't have a wheel without a couple 1,000 gallons of water.
No, it's simply not done.
It's just not on. I would jump down here. In fact, I'm going to jump down here, but there is a thing down here. And you can, as with... This is one of the major beefs I have with Anniversary. In Anniversary, the animals can't climb and jump, and there are far too many cases where you can just sit here just going ping, 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 and plinking the animals without them being able to touch you. And because Anniversary has no humans with guns, well, very few humans with guns, it makes it a frustrating exercise. You hand a shotgun, although I saw this up. Pronto. The shotgun is great against animals. So, what do we have here? We have a flotation device. It's grappleable, but no water. And a waterway in. So, we have to obviously get the water flowing somehow or another. And up we go. I'll give you a quick overview of the room once we get onto a point higher up as a bronze mask. Now, here's the room. We can see that has two halves, and there's clearly something dividing here from there. So the water's going to flow in, and we're going to have to remove that divider. Here are the two... in fact, I'll demonstrate this mechanically, because the point is to explain them when they're actually quite obvious and intuitive when you jump onto them. Bronze mask. Why did the camera do that? That's the first camera problem I've had. Now, here we go. Now, when you jump onto this, this one goes down, this one goes up, because they're in a fine state of balance, and then once it's appropriate height, you can just go jump, grab it, and away we go. Really, Lara? And up we go. This is drawing your attention to the water coming in, and to the lack of it there. And finally, that's the puzzle at the end of the room. I quite like this puzzle because it's quite an intuitively pleasing puzzle. The only objection I have to it is it's a puzzle that would have been great if it hadn't been quite so obviously simple. Oh, there's another bronze mask by the way over there. This is an example of something that I kind of see why they did it this way, but I don't like it necessarily. These huge gaps in the pillars indicate where you're meant to go next. Not that way. But the problem is it makes it all too clear and obvious that it's an artifice put in by the game designers. You can clearly see where you're meant to be going. I'm not a big fan. I don't know. It could have been done better, I think. Let's scoot. I quite like this. There's a bit later on when you go to England where you have to do this. I won't spoil it, but suffice it to say that she effectively serves on a coffin. Alright. Yes, I know from experience that there is a sort of thing behind here. The only way you'd guess it is if you accidentally jumped onto this area and noticed it. You know, rewards of exploration. They do... I like the fact that they do deliberately reward you for exploring in places you don't have to go. Although the problem in Legend is it's much more linear than previous games, and consequently exploration is less important. On the other hand, Underworld would be quite a frustrating game for me to do while picking everything up, because there's quite a lot of stuff that's in quite random places, and it would be quite disjointed. Especially because I can't remember where other stuff is. So we'll have to see. I'm probably going to do an Underworld Let's Play because I do like the game and I have quite a lot to say about it, because although obviously rag on it a bit. I did enjoy it quite a lot. It has a lot of great features. Oh no! I'm retarded. Left that too late. Didn't get squished by that either. Come on, up you go again. It's a shame. What was I saying? At this level, yes. The puzzles, yes, I was going to talk about puzzles legend. I just having it's delivered by a chap, Brian, who gave me a copy of. He's going to do a playthrough of Anniversary at some point. Probably not soon because I'm going to America fairly soon, but probably in a month or so. And he's given me the first footage of his playthrough Croft Manor, and it reminded me in many ways how much deeper the puzzles in Anniversary are than the puzzles in Legend. Puzzles in Legend are easily doable and intuitive, but they do lack the interest in Anniversary, and they aren't as complicated. And although obviously you don't want all the puzzles to be complicated, it is nice to occasionally have a puzzle that is, like I was saying, easy to tell there's a puzzle there, but not easy to solve it. I think that's what they should be really going for. Come on, up you go. There we go, down we go there. And across. In this, for example, you don't have an inventory where you store puzzle items. You don't really in Underworld either, although there are a few puzzles where you do have to. See, this is what I was thinking about when I mentioned the thing that falls in Ghana. I thought it broke, but it doesn't, which merely confirmed my bias against that gold puzzle. Ancient wooden box that's been around for thousands of years, and in a waterlogged environment doesn't smash, but a new box does. Oh yes, I'll show you. This is another demonstration. You can see clearly the mechanics behind this puzzle. His arms are bound by these two shackles, and we have to clearly unbind him. I'm not sure what the point of the rotating paddles is, apart from to provide a slight element of time trial. Here's a cool little box. Obviously, as you might have guessed, pressure pad, stick the box on, good to go. As you can see, last time I did this, the shackle slowly closed. So this obviously has a slight timed element to it, but I think the real reason they gave it a timed element is to trick you into jumping onto that while it's revolving. Because it only revolves twice, and it gives you more than enough time to get back there without having to hazard a jump onto a moving surface. I literally think they were just screwing people. I don't know. So here we are. Rip your heart out, and your arms go down. Spice must flow.
Looks good. Think the wheel's turning yet?
Let's have a look.
And now, Lara, let's introduce your face to the ground. Crunch. Except actually for her neck is made of steel, and her hair is presumably made of carbon fibre. Down.
Much better.
You scare me.
You may want